Hey, you guys. Okay, so I am here to talk to you about working smart, not hard. So I don't know where you're at, but here in Texas, it's like super gloomy weather. So I have to tell you guys, it's kind of funny. A lot of times I end up working from my kitchen table. And then when I lock myself in the office, because I've got my niece and my nephew today, they're not alone. My mom has them. Then it literally makes a world of difference when I step in here. When I step in my office, I feel like I can be more powerful, more productive. It's the craziest thing. So I hope you guys have a space that you can work in your home where you just get solitude and you, like, I've got my gratitude journal in here, I've got my Bible in here, I do my quiet time in here. So it makes a world of a difference when you have somewhere that you can really focus, because I feel like there's TVs, laundries, kitchen, like everything. And so when you have something or a place that you can escape and just be as on purpose as possible, it makes a world of a difference. So I have 4 things I want to talk to you guys today about working smart, not hard. Now, let's be very clear. This business is very hard work. I truly believe there are no shortcuts in Mary Kay. And so when I started Mary Kay, I had been working since I was 15 years old. I had 2 jobs when I was 16. So I've always worked. And so I do believe in hard work, but I also believe in being smart with your time and being smart with your resources. And so when I say working smart, not hard, I don't mean don't work hard. I just mean working smarter with the same activity, and therefore you get better results. So there's 4 things that I want to talk to you guys about today. The first one is making yourself duplicatable. I truly believe in order to be the smartest businesswoman possible, we really do have to duplicate ourselves, make ourselves duplicatable. Obviously, having assistance, having support, that kind of stuff is important. But for me, as I find myself personally working on bookings, I've got a wedding in 2 months and pay setters, and I apologize, I think the mailman's here, so the dogs are going crazy. All those different things that I feel myself the ability to feel stretched, really thin, or even choosing to not be stressed out. That's a choice. And so for me, it's really delegating, of course, but also being duplicatable. And one of the best ways I find myself to be duplicatable, especially when I'm training new consultants, is I really take advantage of technology, whether it's Google Hangouts or Zoom or FaceTime or whatever. So today at 4 o'clock, I actually have 2 consultants that will be streaming in with me, and I'm making the rest of my booking calls. I have a list of people that I've already text messaged, and I said, what's the best time to call you? And so I have, let me see my list. I have 1 person I'm calling at 4:15, 1 at 3:50, 1 at 4:45, 1 at 5:30, and 3 after 5. So I literally have 7 people that I'm calling, and they will be watching and listening to me as I make my booking calls. So they can help me hear me overcome objections. They can hear me, I'm going to put it on speakerphone. They can hear their reactions, and they can really, really build their confidence. Now, once that's recorded, because I'm using Google Hangout, I can forward that to other people in the future for booking calls to help me, help them overcome that. So that's one thing that I've really started to work with when it comes to my working hour, is letting them hear me make my booking calls. And then the next step will be listening to them make their booking calls. But I feel like it's a way where I can get as many people on to a Google Hangout as I want to, right? They can listen, and they can even be seen if I have less than 10, I believe. And so I do a lot of that. I do recording of shares. Sometimes I have other people on. I'm listening to a share to help me overcome those objections. To help build their confidence. If I have a rising leader, I will record that and have her on the call so she can hear it, to help build their confidence. And so instead of me being super stressed out about having to train all these new consultants, all this stuff, I just get real, and I get them on with me, and they're, sorry about that. I just got a text. And so that really gives me the ability to be duplicatable, be real, be authentic, show them exactly what that looks like. And so if there's an opportunity for you to train, when you're doing a training scenario or even a conversation, I encourage you to record it. I encourage you to get someone else on that could benefit from that same material or that same call, so that you then have it in your archives. Like, I've trained, I will save that in my archives on my YouTube so I can forward that out. And I even have other videos of me booking. And I send that out to people to help build their confidence and how I overcome those objections. And I would just record me making like 5, 6, 7 calls so that people can see exactly how that works. So that's my first tip, is make yourself duplicatable. And really, you're also doubling yourself, because you're able to do multiple things at once, or train multiple people at once on the same topic. So I love that. And it's just real life, real stuff. So okay, the second thing I really like to do that's helped me become more productive with my time is giving my consultants tasks. So when they start their business, I say, okay, so the goal is to get your first 6 shares scheduled in the next 48 hours. They don't have to be held in the next 48 hours. They just need to be scheduled in the next 48 hours. And so, these are the times I have available, or just schedule them and we'll make it work. So I'm giving my people tasks and I'm giving them a time frame. So I know that in the next 2 days, I'm going to have quite a few shares scheduled with these consultants. So I get them moving up quickly, and also helps them see the ability to get into their car faster, different things like that, moving into the red faster, because we're just getting it done. Whether normally, well, maybe if we've done their launch party, sometimes we haven't done their launch party, but it's just getting their friends and family on board, getting them excited about their business. And so I give them tasks and I give them timelines, whether it's for shares or getting out certain amount of facial boxes or whatever. I say, okay, so what you're telling me is that you need more leads. Awesome. When in the next 2 days, can you go put out, some facial boxes? When in the next 2 days, can you go generate leads? Okay, awesome. You said tomorrow from 5 to 6. Okay, well, I'm excited. And I can't wait to hear from you at 6:10, and hear of your results, and so, and I always say, I'm committed to being on that call when you call me. How committed are you to calling me at 6 o'clock? How committed are you to actually going out and generating these leads? If there were anything were to stop you in your tracks, what would it be? Nothing. Okay, awesome. So that means you are committed and it's going to happen. I can't wait to hear from you, and so I give my people tasks and I call them to a higher standard, to be bold, to say, this is what I expect. I'm committed to picking up the phone. Are you committed to calling? How committed are you to actually carving that time out? Okay, awesome. On a scale of 1 to 10, you're a 10, girl. Well, I can't wait for your phone call. Setting an alarm in my phone right now. I encourage you to do the same, and so just calling them to a higher act and a higher standard of working their business. And so giving them tasks and then following up with them, or setting them, a standard of where they follow up with me and let me know what they accomplished. So I love that. It really does make a huge, huge difference with just accountability and not chasing people down. And, oh, girl, you said you were going to do this and you didn't. Like, if they don't call me, then they didn't do it, And so it gives me an ability to just check the box and know that I did what I needed to do. And also see who's where when it comes to playing ball and being committed to working with me. So I love that. The third thing I want to talk to you guys about is traveling. I've traveled a lot really from day one in my business. And so, a lot of people ask me, how do you travel and build? How do you travel and build? If I know there's a certain area or region that I really want to work my business, I will go out there and I will put out a bunch of facial boxes. I will set up a restaurant promotion. I typically don't travel unless I have a recruit in that area. And so I'll go get a recruit. I'll do a party, recruit someone. And then when I go out to do their launch party, the day before, I'll set up a restaurant promotion, or, I'll go out, if it's not too terribly far, put out a bunch of facial boxes. And that way I have leads to contact the same day that I'm going to do a launch party. So let's say I want to go work in Weatherford. So I'll go take a day and I'll go put out a bunch of, it's about an hour and a half away. I'll go put out a bunch of facial boxes. I'll go put out a bunch of facial boxes. I've got a team member already there. So we're scheduling their party for Friday, or I'll try to do Saturday. And then that way, then I can use all those leads and I can book parties for all day Saturday. And then I've got that launch party Saturday night and then I get to go home. So I'm really maximizing my time while I'm out there. So I'm not driving an hour and a half. And most of the time I do travel quite a bit further, 5 hours, 6 hours, 3 hours, whatever. And so when I'm traveling, I have a lot of activity, so that if a launch party doesn't hold, or, whatever, I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket when it comes to activity for a Saturday or a Friday. And a lot of times I won't even do a launch party on a Friday or Saturday unless I'm traveling for it. So then I have a lot of activity during the day. And then I got that launch party and then I either head home, stay the night, or whatever. And so traveling and creating a new circle in a new area. So being intentional, I will, like I said, Thursday nights, I'll go do a restaurant promotion in that area. If I go to Birmingham, I'll do, restaurant promotion. Friday night might be a launch party. Saturday would be all day parties, and Saturday night would be a launch party. And then I either do it again Sunday, or I head home. And so that way I'm not putting all my activity on my rock star consultant who might come home with the flu, or whatever. And then I'm like, crap, now I have no activity on my books because I was banking on that party, And so as a sales director, I learned very quickly not to depend on other people. And so if I wanted to work in a different area, if I wanted to build in a new circle, I wanted a new pocket, if I wanted to give my people a run for their money, I would go put out facial boxes. I would set up a restaurant promotion, and then I would work with my new people in that area. But I never, ever, ever expected or counted on that to be the only activity that I had was a launch party or working with those people. The other thing that I've done is I'll, tell a new consultant if she has 4 parties booked, then I'll come and I'll work with her. So I don't always tell my people I'll come work with them. They have to earn that. They have to, be a star or have 4 or 5 parties booked plus 2 shares, the night before or whatever. I give them a lot of activity of how they can earn me to come work with them. Because I know a lot of you are spread out, and I think a lot of us are willing to go work with our people. But the great thing is, you guys, the company does a lot of prizes for us. We don't have to anymore. And so use yourself as a prize. I love using myself as a prize. Girl, you've earned coffee with me, or whatever. And okay, well, I will come work with you if that's something that you want. However, what I need from you is, 3 parties booked on that Saturday. We're going to make it a power day. And then we'll do 2 shares on Friday nights, and want to maximize our time together and make it the most lucrative for both you and I, and really value our time together, and so people don't argue with that. And they get it, and they do value your time, and they value all that you do. But also, again, if you've got other stuff out there, you can book your own stuff. And so what I would do is we'd get like a space where we could both have appointments. So they'd book their people, I'd book my people for the same time. So I'd be selling and I'd be recruiting while I'm helping her sell and recruit, because I'm doing the whole party. And so she's got people there, I've got people there, I'm doing the whole shindig, but now I'm making money, I'm recruiting, I'm selling for both her and I, and we're both rocking it out. So that to me is truly working smart, not quite as hard, because truly, it is very hard work and you are exhausted by the end of the day, but wouldn't you rather be exhausted from success than disappointment? And so it allows me to rock my business while she's rocking her business, and we're doing it together. And now guess what? Everything she does is going to be what I do, because she's watched me do it so many times. And so that is how I truly have learned to develop leaders quickly, building confidence, building success, and they know what the heck they're doing, And so I'm also not putting my business on the back burner by doing all these parties for everyone else. No, girl, bring your people. I'll bring my people. We'll rock it together. And that has truly been a huge blessing. And because again, I paid my bills, all of my bills with Mary Kay. So there was no time for me to be like, I'll come to your party, your party, your party, and then I have none. No. I needed parties too. So I would have us all do them together. So that was my traveling and creating a new circle and a new area. Okay, so now, the last thing I have listed for you is working hours as a director and a consultant. So this is something that has really helped me with time management, is my consultants always knew that every Monday and Tuesday I was working on my own personal bookings from 3 to 6. So there was no time to sit there and hold anybody's hand. And so my people knew, don't even ask, from 3 to 6, or they knew they could come sit with me as I make my booking calls, And so having working hours, and that will also help you respect your business, respect your time, and your people will respect your time. So they know, my people always knew Thursday night was a meeting night. My people always knew Wednesday was when I was out lead generating. And so they knew that they could contact me during this time and this time, Monday through Friday, Saturday and Sunday I was working my business, but they also knew every Monday and Friday I was working my business and doing parties so that they could come and watch. And so having a set schedule where your people know, this is when Brittany's being a consultant, this is when Brittany's being a sales director. And so my people knew that they could book shares with me Wednesday, sometimes Thursday before the meeting, and Friday from 3 to 6. But Monday and Tuesday were off limits. And so having those boundaries and those hours where your people know. And so, also when you're contacting your consultants, she's new, we want to schedule your first 6 shares in the next 48 hours. Okay, so let's get them scheduled in the next 48 hours. But let's say that you have, Monday from 12 to 5 to do your, shares, or, on Friday afternoon or whatever. Give her those hours that she can set those parameters. Now, some people do work, so you do have to give them some after hours options. But having those set hours and those set boundaries will keep you accountable, will keep you in your office when you're supposed to be in your office, will keep you in the position you're supposed to be in. Because I find that so many directors are wanting to be directors all the time and never wanting to be a consultant. Well, remember, consultants what got you to being a sales director. And if you pull yourself out of the field long enough, you will no longer be a director, And so truly making sure that you are working this business, like the position that you are being paid to. And if your unit's not at 100, you should be a consultant 5 days a week. To brag on one of the consultants participating in Pacesetters, she said, I have 6 personal recruits this month. And you guys, it's because she's doing the work. She's seeing the faces. And so, when people are frustrated, they're not getting the results that they want, it's truly because they're not doing the work. And we can sit here and point fingers at our consultants all day long, but monkey see, monkey do. And like I said last week, how thrilled would you be if your entire unit was a unit full of you? Some of you would be ecstatic. Some of you, that's what you want, right? And some of you Probably not right now. And so I encourage you guys to take these final 8 days of the month and say enough is enough and go to work. I remember there were plenty of months where I, would have my aha moment or wake up in the middle of the month, as a new director, where I too got a little bit of directoritis, and I would go make things happen. I would eat, sleep, and breathe, the goals. And so, like right now I have 7 people to call after 3:45, and so truly you guys, taking control of the outcome, taking control of your business, taking control of what you're doing, where you're going. You have no one to blame but either the lack of activity or the huge amount of activity that you're creating. So therefore you are, happy with where you're at. And so I encourage you guys to take these next 8 days, be intentional. Remember, we talked about intentional conversations, picking up the phone. Don't just wonder what your consultants are doing. Pick up the phone, find out what they're doing. When do you have bookings? Do you have names? When are you doing those shares? When can we get on the phone? And then truly packing out these last 8 days of the month so you can make it a magnificent month, you guys. This month is dependent on so much. Getting those 4 qualifieds this month, so then you can do it again next month and then get that double dipping for getting both months. So you do not want to miss it, you guys. Don't be I wish I had, because I'm so glad I did. No one wakes up exhausted from success and it's like, wow, that really sucked. I worked so hard and I got great results, but it was just awful. No. Everybody wakes up super pumped, maybe a little exhausted, but super, super, super glad they did. So I'm encouraging you guys to be that super glad you did person. Quit buying your own excuses. Quit lying to yourself. Quit making up all the excuses under the sun as to why you can't do what you need to do. A true business owner, a true leader, a true entrepreneur lives the crazy and does it anyways. So I believe in you guys. I know it's going to be amazing. So again, you guys, working smart, not necessarily as hard, but remember, this business is hard work and it is so worth it. It is so worth it, but there are ways to maximize your time and your resources to where you are getting better results and not working as hard, but getting even better results. So love you guys. Have an awesome, awesome rest of your day. Bye.